Hello, welcome. If you are new here, my name is Amanda of Heart and Harmony Healing, and today I'm going to be talking to you about witch wounding. So what is witch wounding? This is something that a lot of people, especially women today, are dealing with as a result of what happened in the past during the witch trials, the burning times. So it involves this fear of being seen, speaking your truth, and showing up authentically that has been passed on through generational trauma. For hundreds of years, women have been persecuted for being accused of witchcraft, and some men as well. A lot of these people were actually just people living in their power, sharing their gifts. A lot of them were healers, in more intuitive people that weren't seen as easy to control. So the witch trials were a way to suppress these people, instill a lot of fear in them so that they can be easily controlled. A lot of people were afraid of being persecuted, tortured, and even killed for just being themselves. So a lot of people, especially women, had to really shrink themselves and hide and stop sharing their gifts and their truth and being authentic, because being seen as different was very dangerous. So people had to hold themselves back, and this fear of being seen was actually important for their survival. Those fears were very big. They're also included in the patriarchy, where women were removed from power, seen as less than, and this has caused so many wounds within women, especially now today, where we aren't showing up as ourselves authentically. We aren't connected to our truth. We're afraid of sharing that truth if we do know what that truth is. And we have really suppressed our power and our gifts, our intuition. The sisterhood wound is also included in this because there were a lot of women who were tortured and forced to betray other women in order to just, survive themselves. So this has caused a lot of fear of competition, fear of feeling safe around other women, and has caused a lot of mistrust and competition between other women. So how this witch wounding shows up in people today is through a lot of throat chakra issues, a lot of blockages energetically here, and a huge fear of speaking your truth, showing up authentically, sharing your gifts, sharing your intuitive, psychic gifts, and just this fear of being seen by others and being seen as different and rejected for being different, for being authentic. This can also show up as a fear of your own power and show up as self-doubt, people-pleasing, feeling inadequate, and trying to please others in order to avoid conflict. There has been a huge disconnection for many people with their own intuition and intuitive gifts. This is something that a lot of people have buried and suppressed in order to not be seen as a witch, really, right? Because that was seen as something that was dangerous and something that could get you killed. So how do we start to heal this witch wounding so we can really step into our power and our authenticity and show up as our true selves and speaking our truth, realigning and healing our throat chakra as well? So the first step is to recognize the wounding, recognize the fears you have around speaking up, sharing your truth, being authentic, being seen. So some journaling can be really helpful there, spending some time going inward, looking at your patterns like people-pleasing, avoiding and holding back from sharing your truth, fear of conflict, of upsetting others, fear of rejection. And then once you have recognized the wounding, the fears, the next step is to acknowledge where they come from and that not all of them are entirely yours. and not yours to carry forward. A lot of this has been collective wounding. It comes from the collective. We are imprinted on that in our childhood as we grow up. We are imprinted that from our parents as well, from generational trauma that has been passed down and shows up in the way that we were raised. You know, maybe we were told that we were sharing too much, that being our authentic selves wasn't acceptable. And also that some of this is also can be past life trauma as well that we are carrying forward. So the next step after you have recognized and acknowledged these woundings, these fears and beliefs, it is time to start releasing them and working through the fear, which doesn't happen right away. It is a process. So starting to connect with actually what your truth is. So maybe doing, you know, some more of that journaling, that inward work. And then when you are able to share your truth, share this truth with others who are safe to be around. For myself, the throat chakra and the witch wounding has been a really big thing that I have gone through in my healing journey. I used to be very closed off, very quiet all of my childhood into my young adult. And the one thing that really started my healing in a very dramatic way was when I joined a sisterhood. I joined a women's group. Being in this space that felt completely safe, where I was accepted and loved for who I was exactly what I needed to be able to start sharing myself authentically without this fear of being judged. So finding a space, or maybe even that's just one person, one friend that you feel comfortable and safe with to start sharing your truth. And then keep practicing and proving to yourself, to your body, your nervous system, that it is safe for you to share your truth. So starting off small with truths that are a little easier and with people that you feel a little more comfortable around, and then expanding from that. Another way that you can work on healing this is using energy healing. So everything isn't just physical, it is also energetic and emotional and mental and spiritual. There are all these layers to our being, and they're all connected. So when we have this fear, we do have to feel through the fear on an emotional level, and energy healing can also be very helpful to start moving that energy, especially when it's so blocked in our throat chakras. So using things like Reiki, light language, using meditations, quantum energy healing to start moving this energy and healing it, so that the rest of our healing process comes a little bit easier and is a little bit quickened. It can also be necessary to do some inner child healing and even sometimes some past life work as well, if you are able to do that. So going back to the child versions of yourself who didn't feel safe to be themselves, and sending them that love and reparenting them so that they do feel that it is safe and okay for them to be their authentic selves. Witch wounding is something that a lot of people experience, even if they are aware of it or not, because it is such a large part of our history and our society as a whole, and the systems in place in our society. And it is a really important step in healing ourselves, especially those people who are women, who are more empathetic, more sensitive, more intuitive, who are on their personal healing and spiritual journeys, the personal growth, and on their ascension journey. And I believe it is helpful to have this greater awareness, this bigger picture of what the witch wounding actually is, and seeing the bigger picture of how we have really been silenced and suppressed and disempowered, and that happened on purpose to keep us small and easily controlled. And in order to really take back our power and to heal ourselves and create a better way forward for everyone on Earth, we need to do this healing, this inner work ourselves, so that we can step into our authentic selves and our own power and share our gifts and our truth with the world, because the earth and the people on earth so desperately need that right now. They need you to be showing up in all of your light as your authentic self, because you are the only one who carries that energy, your gifts that are needed in this world. No one else has that ability to do that, because everyone is so unique and so needed. And we are in a very important time on Earth right now where a lot is changing. We are ascending very quickly. And if you are here right now on Earth, if you're watching this video, there is a reason you are here. Like, you're supposed to be here. You are needed at this time. So I thank you for doing the work, for healing yourself, and for being you, because that is your purpose, is to be yourself. If you would like some more support in healing your witch wounding, healing your voice, showing up authentically, please feel free to reach out to me if you feel called to connect with me, even if it's just by leaving a comment or sending me a message. Some of the services that I can help with are by spiritual life coaching, with Reiki sessions, with light language, even learning your own light language yourself. That is incredibly healing for healing your voice, your throat, and healing the witch wounding. That was a very important step in my journey. So I do offer activations to help guide you through learning your own light language. If you need a safe space to start sharing and showing up as yourself, I have a group coaching program called the Heart-Led Sisterhood. We are a nice, small, intimate group, and we are open to accepting more people. So this is a great place to start doing that work as well, and having that safe place being held with that love and non-judgment. That was definitely important for my healing, so I do recommend finding a space like that. And if you liked this video, please like it and subscribe and leave a comment. I would love to hear in the comments if you really resonated with this, if witch wounding is something you've heard about before, if this has been anything that you've been going through in your own healing journey. Thank you for being here. Sending you love.